Hello, everyone. Pastor Greg here, just with a devotion. But before that devotion, a couple of reminders, announcements. This coming Sunday is WLA's 100th anniversary celebration that they will be having. I invite you to look at their website for all the specifics as far as what is happening there on their campus and off their campus to celebrate. But it is this Sunday. Because it is this Sunday, our original intent to have our youth gatherings, our teen gatherings once a month, first Sunday of the month, is going to be postponed until March 2nd. We will continue to do what we had done, and that will be to do the escape room with pizza immediately after the second service. I just need an RSVP. I need you to let me know if you are planning to attend, either as a student or as maybe someone who's going to help volunteer to chaperone the event. So if you could let me know as soon as you can about that so I can make arrangements, calling different escape rooms to find out if they are open and can host us in that event. And finally, I know some of you have been asking about when Refueled is next. This last Sunday, we had a special event with Christian education and a guest preacher coming in for that. So our next Refueled event is the normal week, the second Sunday of February. So February 9th, late service, will be our next Refueled event. I want to share with you a section of God's Word, just a Bible passage that I'm sure that you maybe memorized as a child, or you definitely have heard as an adult. It comes to us from 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 7. And in this section, there is a man who wrote these words. God, of course, told him to write these words, but they come from a heart who probably was filled with a lot of anxiety, and that is Peter. You think the change that Peter went through from one who was all about being proud and who he was and basically finding his security in his own strength. Think about what Jesus said, you were going to deny me, and he opposed Jesus. He said, no, I will never. Even if I have to die for you, I will never do that. And that very night, this proud Peter crumbled under the weight of a little servant girl, the accusations, the questions that she has, denying Jesus 3 times, and of course there the rooster crows. Immediately Jesus looks in his eyes, looks in his heart, and Peter understands what he had done. And you can imagine the anxiety that was filled with his inside of him, all the way up until that point where Jesus comes and 3 times comes to him. Do you love me? Do you love me? Do you love me? Well, this Peter, filled with all kinds of anxiety, says these words. Cast all your anxiety on him because he cares for you. Think about what those words mean for you. Yes, Peter knew what it was like to be filled with anxiety, but I've been trying to think this week about, are there any parts of anxiety that are not associated with sin? I couldn't think of any. Maybe you're anxious about your health, but why is your health failing? It's because sin is a part of our lives. Maybe you're anxious because your relationships are failing. Why are they failing? It's because of sin that is part of our lives. You think every single bit of anxiety goes back to sin. And you look at these passages and this passage and you think, Peter wrote, you can cast your anxiety on him because he cares for you. Well, Jesus tells us there's no greater love than one who lays down his life for his friends. And that's exactly what Jesus did, including Peter, including you, including me. Jesus laid down his life on a cross in order to destroy sin and therefore destroy all of the outcomes that come from sin, including anxiety. Jesus shows how much he cares about you by willingly doing that and then coming back to life to show you that sin is destroyed, but we are not. That anxiety is taken away, but we are saved. And then you think about what the first word, that's one of my highlight words for this passage. It says, cast all your anxiety. Cast means to throw away. They would cast their nets, or you would cast a ball, or whatever it might be. You're casting it away. You're throwing it away. You're doing this action to get it away from you. And it's saying, cast your anxiety. Every single thing that causes that anxiety, that worry, that fear that is on your heart, you are to cast it away. And where? On him, on Jesus. That's where he wants it. Throw that anxiety, throw that sin off of you on the one who can actually carry it. I can't carry it, but Jesus can and has carried it directly to a cross to defeat it, to give us that confidence that no matter what we face, no matter what anxieties may come our way, Jesus has already destroyed the sin that causes that anxiety because he cares for you. May God's message of comfort fill your heart with comfort, even when you're going through some difficulties in life, and even when your heart is filled with anxiety. Cast it away. Throw it on Jesus because he cares for you, cares enough to go to that cross, to die for you, to take those sins so that you know heaven is yours. God bless you all.